Now to the case of illegal betting apps, Vasudha, and some top southern stars are in trouble for promoting these apps, as we know, from Prakash Raj to Vijay Devarkonda and Rana Dagupati have been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. Remember, nearly 30 noted actors face cases of promoting illegal online betting apps, and they may have to appear before the ED starting tomorrow, Vasudha.
That's right. According to sources, Veera, all these stars promoted such apps on social media. ED's investigation has also revealed that transactions worth thousands of crores have taken place through these apps, and several stars have been given huge amounts from these promotions. At present, summons have been sent to everyone, and ED is preparing for questioning.
It'll be important to watch out how that plays out, Vasudha. In fact, Google and Meta officials too, remember, have been called in by the ED for promoting these apps which entice people to gamble. So multiple questions at stake, ethical, moral, legal as well. Joining us this evening, actor Chetan Ahimsa, and also in a bit, senior advocate N.S. Nappinai. Chetan Ahimsa, the first question is that have actors promoted these apps which has led to the ruin of many people willingly or unwillingly, and should they be held accountable?
There is an argument that actors are responsible for these things directly, indirectly, by using their platform to somehow influence minds, which leads to suicides, which leads to financial mismanagement, gambling addiction. But I look at this in 4 different ways. Number one, you're talking about the whole betting apps. When you talk about regulation, you're talking about a blanket ban, you're talking about the message it sends. Number 2, the role of actors, social media influencers, and how they should be handled, how each should be looked at a case-by-case situation. Number 3, you look at Mr. Revant Reddy's kind of power play where he kind of soft targets and uses his weapons and power against filmmakers, whether that be headlines or really is he not finding fault with the real problems, or are these the real problems? And 4 is long-term solution. So in terms of betting apps, I mean, obviously they send a bad example. There's one person who has said that 1,000 people have committed suicide, maybe even Telangana itself. Right. Youth get addicted. But at the same time, the question is, how do you regulate? Are you going to do a ban? To what level are you going to do a ban?
Right.
In 2017, they've done a ban. Are you going to ban films? Because that's also betting. Are you going to ban horse racing? That's also betting. So it creates a big problem. And in terms of the actor,
so
you
larger
look at
questions there, Ms. Nappinai. As a parent, I feel very deeply about this issue because I know that it's in the court, and between this battle of game of skill and game of luck, I do think that we do lose the larger picture that betting apps not just lead to financial losses, but also social addiction, which is a huge problem. Absolutely. Is there a problem with awareness, or is there a problem with enforcement?
I'd say it's both. Because the first step is that people have to be aware that merely because a celebrity is endorsing something, it does not validate or legitimize a particular app. The second aspect is if enforcement is stronger, then it sets a precedent, and it also acts as a deterrent then for the fly-by-night operators. So you cannot have a law which would leave things open-ended and say it is self-regulatory, and then not have strong enough enforcement against those who violate those self-regulatory mechanisms. So I would say that even this delineation between game of skill and game of chance, if you look at some of the state laws, because betting comes under state laws, you would see that they are trying to close the gap. The problem is with proportionality. None of the acts have been struck down saying you cannot do it at all. Only thing that the courts have been mandating is do a proportionate or a process which is valid and legitimate and equal to the harm that it causes. So I think that fine median or average is what we are really looking for now.
Right, Vasudha, it's actually an important question that Vasudha raised there, Ms. Nappinai. And Chetan, the deal is here that, it doesn't have to be necessarily mandated and doesn't have to be necessarily illegal. As influencers and as stars, there's also a larger social responsibility question that comes up, and that's the moral side of the argument, right? Yes. Now, you know very well that some of these apps have certain dangerous trends. Now, we're dealing with it at multiple layers. Should actors be a little more responsible in what they choose to endorse?
Actors must be more responsible. I mean, they have a big platform. They influence a lot of people. You're talking about actors that also do gutka pan masala ads. You're talking about different liquor ads. You're talking about various things. At the same time, in this present situation, you have to look at it on a case-by-case situation. Some people have done it after the 2017 ban, 2020, continue to do it to some level. Some people before 2016 and they didn't continue. They might have apologized. Each is a case-by-case situation. But when it comes to Revant Reddy, I feel he uses his power and wields it more against the film industry, like Allu Arjun and what DK Shivakumar did, because it gets headlines.
I think there is no connection.
And that seems to be
the Allu
something
Arjun case is extremely different from this. I mean, while you're saying that they're being made a soft target, Vasudha, there are multiple other dimensions that need to be probed.
Absolutely. Chetan, my question to you is, shouldn't influencers also draw that red line for themselves? The celebrities that Veera talked about, from Prakash Raj to Vijay Deverakonda, these are not people who are in need of money to make financial gains out of exploitation of people. And there are families which have committed suicide. Shouldn't there be a red line, boundaries that these celebrities have to draw for themselves,
including cricketers as well?
No doubt. I personally have not endorsed any of these brands or any brands in general. But at the same time, some of these, it's left up to their own sense of morality. And I also think it sends a wrong message that they're doing these kind of ads. But at the same time, I feel sometimes it can get into a witch hunt, because these things make headlines.
Right.
You're talking about real estate mafias that are not targeted. You're talking about mining mafias that are not targeted. Those are also big problems that Revant Reddy should also look into. But I'm not denying.
Quick final word, Napinai.
Talking about a moral story, I would focus on the legal aspect. Celebrities have to be careful because now they are mandated to do so under law, and they are going to be held liable if something goes wrong, right? So therefore, one, check what you're endorsing, see what the safety nets are if it is likely to be a fly-by-night operator, and remember, if it does turn out to be one, then you are going to be also held liable. So this kind of, it's not just about appealing to their moral side. I would strongly say that the legal argument for celebrities to exercise much more caution is a strong one.
Absolutely. Thank you, Napinai, and thank you, Chetan Ahimsa, for joining us. Clearly, there's also a lot of accountability, Veera, that the platforms such as Meta and Google have, because I may not be using those betting apps, but I do see these ads promoting those apps on social media, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why they've been summoned as well. I think this is an overall responsibility across the board. Everyone has some responsibility to take as far as these are concerned.